Hi, it seems that not so long ago I posted a video of how I made a slide for my kids, but now they're much more grown and start showing real interest in books. So why don't I nourish this newfound interest by setting up a reading corner for them? Let's make it happen.
I want the books to be easily available, so we'll start by making a book display. MDF will work perfectly for me here. It is sufficiently strong, lightweight, and easy to work with. Let me get all the parts ready. I just need to measure, mark, cut, and repeat. I don't want screws to ruin the aesthetics, so I will be using dowels to hold the display together. This is very simplistic design, but to keep the looks from being too dull, I'm making a wave pattern on several pieces. I bought a tool to help me with the positioning of the holes for the dowels. As you can see, it allows making holes of 3 different sizes and helps centering the hole when drilling into an edge of the board. And if I turn it on its side, holes can be made into a face of the board with a desired distance from the edge. The tool came with drill bits, and more importantly with depth stoppers, and this again reduces the chance of an error. I'm sure that the holes I make without this tool would not align. But more importantly, I always misjudge and tilt the drill. Luckily, I don't need to take the chance this time. And this works like a charm, both when drilling to an edge and to a face. But let's not speak too soon, the holes are still not guaranteed to align. Yet before I can test this, I need to prep and paint the parts. I'm gonna use MDF sealer to waterproof the parts and paint afterwards. I know that the conventional way is to use a primer, lightly sand, maybe repeat with a second coat for a smoother finish, and then paint. But for my needs, the sealer will do just fine. This method is quicker. As for the paint, I chose black to match other furniture in the room. 1 coat should be enough. I always prefer using a roller. I find it to be less messy than a brush, and to spread the paint more evenly. One thing I forgot was to sand the edges after I sealed them, but never mind, I can still do it here, and paint on top. And that only leaves the assembly. But before I do that, let me take care of some cozy reading lights. My wife came up with a design, so we'll let her take care of a facade, which by the way is looking really good. I, in the meanwhile, will get the actual light working. For this, I cut a couple of circles of MDF, glued them together to obtain a thicker circle, cut some holes in the right places, and applied the sealer. I will be using a 5V LED strip, which will be powered by 3 AA batteries. They will provide 4.5 volts, which, though smaller, is still enough to light the LEDs. Once the battery holder is in place, I need to add a switch, which slides into its dedicated slot beautifully. Next, it's the strip itself. Most of the times, the strips can be cut to length, which makes them a good choice for a variety of projects. They also tend to come with adhesive on one side, which is particularly useful for my lights. And that is all for the electronics. It takes no special skills, so anyone can make something like this. And me? I made 2, one for each dinosaur. I will be hanging them on a wall, so I need to install hooks on them both. Finally, using some wood glue, I can join the lights and the dinosaurs together. Now for the assembly. This seemed like a pretty useless corner in my house, so it was due an upgrade. Also, I could not pass on the opportunity to hide all those wires, so a win-win. I'm adding some glue to the dowels, so that the display does not fall apart one day. The whole alignment has been okay so far, but the true test of my accuracy is coming up. 6 holes and 6 pegs need to align perfectly. And it's fine. I didn't want to make new holes in the wall, so designed the display to be secured by screwing into 2 existing holes. And that does not look too bad at all. And the wires are well hidden now. Let's add the lights. Some other accessories. And books, of course. To transform an empty corner into a cozy place for the family to read stories together. Me and my wife love it, but let's see what the little ones think. And of course the dinosaurs are the highlight. We made sure to provide the boys with a wide selection of books. And with them growing, new books can be substituted to match their interests. I'm sure this corner will encourage them to discover what the books have to offer. And never mind my kids, I'm sure I'll find my wife reading here. And I might come for a nap. It's obvious that this corner is bringing much enjoyment for the boys. But what about you? Do you think it was a good idea? If so, click like, subscribe, and until next time!